Do you find your thrall hunting or your friend taming a chore and a pain to do rather than something that is fun and enjoyable? If so, then this is the video for you, because I have a build that makes friend making so much easier, so much more fun, whether it's you on your own or if, like me here, you also have a friend with you. So if you want to know how this all works for the build of what I'm using and the tricks that go with it, then stick with us in this video and we'll show you how it works. Okay then, so before we get into this build, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. This build that I've put together is actually based off a build that another absolutely fantastic YouTuber created a little while back, who goes by the name of Whack4863, so I want to give a big shout out to Whack. He created this build on PC, and we're giving this a go on console. I've kind of already tried it out a bit and had a play around with it, and I've got to say it's pretty good, it's pretty fun. So thank you to him for the inspiration for this, and we're going to give it a go on console and see how we get on. So we're on our character stat sheet, as you can see, without any armor at the moment, and the bit that we're focusing on is under damage, and it's our bonus concussive damage. As you can see, is 120 at the moment. That's what we'll always start out with, and it will also stay at that when I equip the armor that we're using. But the actual number of concussive damage we will actually get up to is 165, because we are going to be using a potion and some food for a buff. But actually the total, I believe, and I think Whacking said this as well, that the total concussive damage actually goes up to 275, but the stat sheet doesn't actually show these actual figures, so the actual figure you'll only actually see is 165. So if I pop on the armor that we're using, as we can see here, this is the Slaver's Hood, and in order to get the Slaver's Hood, you will need to complete the Overlord Journey Step, I believe it's called. Let's try and find it again, bear with me. That one, yep. You'll need to complete the Overlord Journey, and in order to get the Overlord Journey, you will need to first of all complete the Thrall Taker. So if you unlock Thrall Taker, complete the journey steps in that one, which will give you the purple Lotus Orbs, which are also something you could use as well. And then to get this hood, you need to complete the Overlord Journey. So if we go back to our sheet once again, so that's the Slaver's Hood, but we're going to rename it the Friend Maker Hood, because we don't like the word slaver. Then we have the Skelos Cultist Master chest piece, which, as we can see, gives follower damage, and this is medium armor. Agility weapon damage we're not bothered about, because we're actually using a strength build for this. And then the concussive damage of 12, each piece gives that bonus, so it's really helpful. The hands are the same again, more follower damage, more concussive damage, and the same on the legs and the feet. So ignore the agility weapon bonus unless you're running this as a agility build. So then if we take a look at the points where I've put them, we've got 2 in our strength, which is giving us the heavy blows, which gives us an addition to our damage in this one, and it was the equipped armor weighs less option that we went for, I think it is. Yeah, second skin, a quick time away list. And then in vitality we've gone up to the third perk, with fast healer being the one selected there. And as this is an authority build, we are maxed out in authority with the healthy diet and the well trained. You could attempt this with war party, but however with war party 2 followers will not get the additional benefits of the follower damage bonuses from the army you're wearing, so this is best with the well trained. Plus the other benefits are your follower will get the plus 20 in all of their stats. And we've got our 2 in grit to give us the stamina regeneration, and finally to the first point in expertise, just so that we can carry a few more bits and pieces without getting over encumbered too easily. This armour was all crafted with a tier 4 shield right armourer using the garrison armours bench, just to reduce the cost a little bit. And you are going to need raw ash and layered silk to be able to craft these. Show you at the end of the video in the volcano where you would need to go to get raw ash, and where the recipe for the Skelos Cultist Master armour is. And our friend here is wearing exactly the same. That's her stats that she rolled with. That's how she looks. It doesn't necessarily matter essentially too much what they have perk wise, but if you can get a few decent stats on them, that's pretty good. But as you can see, she's wearing the exact same armour, and we are both using Cess Truncheon with the Master Weapon fitting. She's just got the Cimmerian Feast for a heal, but then if I want to increase her concussive damage, we can feed her a piece of the Savoury Feast. So we go like that and give her that. If I just pop my settings on a moment there, so you can see she's got the buff above her bar now. And then we can also use an elixir, and the elixir you want, I'm just using this for this video, but you'll have to actually make these, is the elixir of sight. So we can also give her one of those, get her to take it. As you can see, she's also got the buff on her bar there as well. So then what we need to do is exactly the same, take the potion and a piece of the food, and if I come into the normal mode, as you can see there, we've got all our buffs and bonuses. It is actually warming us up with that food, so just be kind of wary that that will warm you up, and you will need to cool down a little bit if you're in the desert. But as you can see, we get the concussive damage of the plus 15 and then the plus 30. So if we go back to our character sheet once again and look at our bonus concussive damage, is now 165. That's pretty good, so we make sure our friend is now following us. She's getting all those bonuses anyway, but she's now also going to heal up because she's actually getting more health, and she's getting the plus 20 to all her stats also. She has Cess Truncheon, I've got the same. Then just to kind of show you around here, if I send her in, 2 to 3 hits, and that level 2 was down. Pretty good. Now it could happen even quicker. Bear in mind that a named thrall will take a lot longer to knock out. Down. Down again. So like if you come into an area like this and you're after a particular person, let's use these two for an example here. Tell her to take that one. One hit, down. Down. So it's those level 1s knocked out really easy. And a tier 4 will typically take 9 to 10 hits if you're doing it yourself. If your follower gets involved, then obviously it's going to be ever so slightly easier. And then another thing you can do, it doesn't have to be Tell of Sorrow, you could use whatever you want, but after you've done with the people that you need, if you don't need any of these, you can dispense of them really easily with a two-handed sword, because you can obviously do the downward chop and dispense of them and get them out of the way really quick and really easy, which if you're playing on an official server just makes it fair for anybody else, so that they're not going to wake up and just not respawn properly. So same again, you could do it this way, or you could use some poison gas orbs. You could grab them all with your rope, pull them all into an area and throw a gas orb in to kill them all that way. But the two-handed, to be quite honest, is pretty easy, and as I say, if you do this with a friend, makes it really easy and a lot more fun to just be running around and just one-shotting people. As we can see the different levels here. Whoops, didn't want to look at that guy. 1, 2, 3, and she's down. Down again. I just wanted to do that just to show you I was actually still cloaked at that point, but as you can see how quick and easily they were knocked out, because these are obviously a low level. That's a journeyman, so that's like a level 2 taskmaster taken care of. Oops, completely missed. Sorry, follower. But as you can see, you can still quite easily clean up after you've done your thrall taming, or sorry, friend making as we like to call it. And obviously once they're knocked out, you can either take them or dispense of them quite easily. Very brutal when it chops them up like that, but then you can loot them really easy for their loot. And this is probably a build that isn't ideal for going out doing your everyday fighting and farming that you would normally do. This build is specifically designed for friend making, because let's face it, we are only in medium armor, so you want to be careful. You're doing a lot more concussive damage. This is purely for when you're going out doing your friend making, but great on your own, but ideally take at least one friend with you. Makes it more enjoyable, and it's a lot easier to do with that one follower. As I say, war party will not really work because those two followers won't get the increase to their overall damage, because of war party is not affected by stats from armor that you wear, whereas the individual one will be, so she's going to do a lot better being on her own with me. So that is pretty much the build in a nutshell. Just wanted to quickly share it. As I say, do the Overlord journey step after completing the Thrall Taker. This is the better HUD to use rather than using the Skelos Cultist HUD, and it's the Skelos Cultist Master that you need. There's the skill setup again. If you want to take a screenshot of that one, do feel free to do so. And as we said, quick reminder there, bonus concussive damage of 165, that is actually more like 275, so you're going to be an absolute beast when it comes to taming people. Even a Sumerian Berserker, then we're only going to take 8 to 9 hits maybe to knock out, and if your thrall gets involved, or your friend rather, it's going to be a lot quicker and a lot easier and a lot less painful to do, and making friends in the game is going to be a heck of a lot easier. So let's now have a quick look where you get the recipe from. Okay, so once you're up here in the volcano, one thing you'll need to bring with you is a sickle, because if you hit this rock with it, this bluey coloured rock that you see here, this is obsidian. Hit that with a sickle and that will give you raw ash. And then also, while you're up here at the Shrine of the Oracle, you want to make your way over to these steps here, and then just down on the floor here is the book. So you interact with the book and you learn the Skelos Cultist Master Armor, and as I say, that will take a fair bit of layered silk and raw ash to craft them. So there you go then my friends, that's another quick little fun build that you can put together pretty easily. If you can get to the volcano, get yourself some raw ash, get yourself some layered silk made up, and get the Skelos Cultist Master Armor made and get the Overlord, the Slaver Hood from the Overlord journey. Pretty easy to do, and as I say, I hope you have fun with this build, hope you enjoy it. It's purely for friend making, let's call it, rather than your every day-to-day combat, so be very wary going out with this build. If you're going out to be fighting anything, try and keep it purely for your thrall hunting, as the game calls it, or friend making as we like to call it, and choose yourself a pretty decent follower to be the one to follow you. I just chose the bearer because of the tankiness with them having a bit more health, but you could maybe use a cannibal brute even, or a berserker or a Delincia, anybody really. Any of the followers will do, but ideally you want it to be the well trained so that they get the plus 20 and they're also getting the benefits from the cultist armor that you're wearing. So if you did find this interesting, have fun trying it out. If you did, let me know in the comments down below, leave your questions down below, give me a like. If you did, let's try and get at least 50 likes on this video, that would be really cool. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until I see you in the next one, my friends, we shall say goodbye.